We build our lives on a foundation of certainty. The ground beneath our feet is, for all practical purposes, the very definition of solidity. We construct cities of steel and glass upon it, trusting it to remain eternally steadfast. We map it, measure it, and believe we understand it. But this perception, this comforting illusion of permanence, is beginning to crack. A new story is emerging from the data, a narrative not of a silent, inanimate rock, but of a living, breathing, and pulsing entity. What if the world we think we know is merely the surface of a far deeper, more mysterious reality? What if our planet has a voice and has been speaking to us all along in a language of rhythm and vibration? The first whisper of this secret life came not from the heavens, but from the abyssal dark. In the early 1960s, a geologist named Jack Oliver, while analyzing seismic records, stumbled upon something extraordinary, a pulse, not a random tremor, but a precise metronomic beat occurring every 26 seconds, emanating from a specific region in the Atlantic Ocean near the Gulf of Guinea. This was not the violent shudder of an earthquake, but a gentle, consistent thrum, a planetary heartbeat. For over 6 decades, this pulse has continued unfaltering. Is it the result of ocean waves crashing upon the continental shelf, a giant drum being struck by the sea itself? Is it the breath of a massive underwater volcanic vent, a geothermal sigh? The theories abound, but a definitive answer remains elusive. The heartbeat of the Earth is a documented global phenomenon with no universally accepted explanation. It is our planet's most persistent and enigmatic secret, a baseline rhythm that underscores our existence. If you turn your ear from the ground to the sky, another layer of this symphony, reveals itself? Between the surface of the Earth and the lower edge of our ionosphere exists a resonant cavity, a global electromagnetic chamber. And within this chamber, a constant low-frequency hum resonates. This is the Schumann resonance, and its fundamental frequency is 7.83 Hz. This isn't an abstract scientific concept. It is the literal resonant frequency of our planet. It's the note that Earth sings, and in a coincidence that seems too profound to be mere chance. Our own biology is tuned to this frequency. When our brains enter a state of calm, relaxed awareness, the alpha state, our brainwaves oscillate at the same 7.83 Hz frequency. It is as if in our moments of deepest peace, we are syncing our own internal rhythm to the fundamental hum of our home world. We are quite literally in training with the planet. This connection suggests a relationship far more intimate, intertwined than we ever imagined, not just living on the Earth, but being fundamentally of it, or very neuroarchitecture, a reflection of its eternal vibration. Even the grand, steady rotation of our planet is not the perfect clock we presume it to be. In 1891, astronomer Seth Carlo Chandler discovered a slight irregular wobble in Earth's spin. This Chandler wobble causes the planet's poles to trace a circular path every 433 days. It's as if the Earth, while spinning, has a slight, persistent shiver. We can measure this wobble with exquisite precision, tracking its meandering path to within a few meters. Yet, despite over a century of observation and advanced modeling, its primary driving force remains a subject of debate. Is it the sloshing of ocean currents, the pressure of atmospheric changes, or the slow plastic flow of the Earth's mantle? Or perhaps a combination of all three? The fact is, a fundamental aspect of our planet's motion, one that affects GPS systems and satellite orbits, is still in its essence unpredictable. It reminds us that our models are approximations, and the true dynamic life of the planet still holds mysteries that defy our attempts to neatly categorize and predict. The rhythms are not confined to our world alone. Our sun, the source of all life, is not a constant, steady flame. It, too, has its own complex rhythms. From its core, the sun pulses with waves of pressure and gravity, a deep, resonant vibration that ripples through its plasma body. It breathes in cycles great and small, from the famous 11-year sunspot cycle to shorter, more subtle oscillations. These solar pulses manifest as solar flares and coronal mass ejections, hurling waves of radiation and charged particles across the solar system. When these waves wash over Earth, they ignite the auroras, disrupt our communications, and potentially influence our climate and even our planetary weather systems. We are only beginning to understand the intricate dialogue between the sun's rhythmic output, the complex systems of our own world. We are bathed in a cosmic ocean of energy, pushed and pulled by the tides of a star. We are only just learning to comprehend. The evidence of these rhythms builds into an undeniable chorus. From the 26-second microbeat of the ocean floor to the 433-day wobble of the axis, from the 7.83 Hz hum of the sky to the 11-year cycle of the sun, and extending to the almost incomprehensible, grim metronome of the fossil record, which suggests a major extinction event every 62 million years. Life itself is a symphony of biological clocks, circadian rhythms that govern our sleep, circannual rhythms that guide migration and hibernation, and lunar rhythms that orchestrate the reproductive cycles of countless species, all persisting. Even in the absence of light cues, their clocks are not just biological, they are cosmic. This is not a collection of disconnected phenomena. This is a system, a complex, multi-layered, interacting system of cycles within cycles, rhythms within rhythms. We are not living on a dead rock hurtling silently through a vacuum. We are living on a vibrant, dynamic, and profoundly complex entity that expresses its life through a language of vibration, pulse, and spin. The greatest mystery, then, is no longer what these rhythms are, but why they are. Who or what is the conductor of this cosmic orchestra? Is it the simple, emergent property of complex systems? Or is it evidence of a deeper, more fundamental order to the universe? A music of the spheres we are only just beginning to hear. The question is no longer whether the Earth is alive in the biological sense, but whether we can learn to see it as a whole living system. And the most pressing question of all is not for the planet, but for us. Are we, in our noise and haste, finally learning to be quiet enough to listen? The pulse is there. The rhythm is all around us. The invitation has been extended. The choice to hear it is ours.